Yeah, it's completely unacceptable that the Democrats are, basically holding all Americans hostage. Government workers who aren't being paid, people who need their food stamps, people who travel, people who are now concerned about their travel plans for Thanksgiving. The government is meant to be opened. It's meant to function and be fully funded. And I can say that Russ Vought is doing heroic things to try to minimize the harm from the Democrats' hissy fit about like Donald Trump's success. It's the only explanation for what's wrong right now.
Director, what can President Trump do right now to help open the shutdown? He's been gone in Asia, he's heading out of town, so what can he do to help reopen the government? Does he need to be meeting with Democrats right now?
Well, President Trump just closed a number of historic deals with our Asian allies. He was able, along with Secretary Hassett and Jameson Greer, to negotiate an astonishingly good deal with China. He actually went above Spinal Tap and said it wasn't an 11 on the knob of success; it was a 12. I think I might give it a 13 because if you look at it, China is continuing to pay the tariffs that the president has put in place, but they're also opening up their trade with us and buying stuff from our farmers and so on.
Director, why won't the president meet with Democrats to talk about what they can do?
The president takes phone calls all the time, but this is an issue with the Senate. The senators need to do their job. The job of the senator is to be a moderating influence in American culture, in American politics. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats right now are the opposite. And I think that every voter in the world is going to notice that, that guy that I thought was a moderate is not. That they're basically taking orders from Chuck Schumer and AOC and putting Americans in harm's way with their government shutdown, and it's just completely unacceptable.
Do you support the elimination of the filibuster? What you mentioned stronger measures last week.
President Trump has mentioned that might be an option. That frankly, I don't know how long. I think the Democrats might decide to try to keep the government closed until President Trump's out of office. Who knows? That there's no sense in what they're doing. Again, it feels like a hissy fit of a 2-year-old right now.
Do you think the premiums though, you call it a hissy fit, do you think that's a genuine concern that they have on the left?
President Trump has made it clear that, as have the Republicans of the House and the Senate, that they're willing to discuss the premiums after the government's open and through the normal course. I remind that 13 times the Democrats voted to keep the government open while President Biden was in office, but that meant that 13 times the Republicans understood their constitutional duty to keep the government open so that Americans don't go through the suffering that they're going through right now. It's completely preposterous that this is like the third time that we've had a government shutdown since President Trump is in office. So basically, when President Trump wins, the Democrats know that they've got a worthy opponent on their hands, and the only option that they seem to have is to shut the government down. And it's just like they're not doing their jobs. I got time for one more question.
How would you describe the health of the U.S. economy in light of the cuts of the rates from the Fed?
Yeah, so the U.S. economy is very strong. We're looking at third quarter GDP that's close to 4% growth, and excuse the lots of wind. And I think that's a momentum that will carry forward. The government shutdown is looking like it might reduce that number quite a bit, especially going into the fourth quarter. And but the momentum from all of President Trump's policies is really, really strong. As for the Fed, I think that we're glad that they reduced the interest rate. We think that was the right move. But if you think about from the previous meeting, the news we have is basically that inflation is lower than we thought. And other than that, we don't have a lot of news because the government shutdown is making it so that the Fed is flying blind a little bit. But we have a government shutdown, which is a negative for the economy. And against that backdrop, the idea that the Fed would be backing away from their promised rate reductions in the future is puzzling to us. So thank you very much.